Hey, it's Tim with the University of Vinyl. I am back today to talk about a trip I took to Las Vegas with my wife about 3 weeks ago now. Middle of July, we of course went to Vegas to check out Dead and Company at the Sphere. Something I think you've got to do if you are a Grateful Dead fan. Pretty cool atmosphere there. I mean, I am not going to put up a constant stream of videos from the Spear. I think everyone can do a search on YouTube and find things that were probably better shot than what I did. I'm going to maybe put up a couple snippets. But suffice to say, it was an amazing experience. My wife and I are fans, and I think it's pretty cool what John Mayer has done over the last, 7 or 8 years now, as far as revitalizing that catalog, keeping the music alive. We usually catch them just down the road in Boulder. That's where we were last summer on what was billed as the last tour, and then the Spear residency came along. I think it is ending later this month as we sit here in early August. So who knows what will happen with that current iteration next year, if they'll do another run of shows at the Sphere. It remains to be seen. We do know that Bobby Weir is going to continue until he probably drops. We went to the show on Saturday night, and we had a lot of time on Saturday to kind of relax. We went to Shakedown Street, which is the unauthorized merch area that you used to find in the parking lot. I saw the Grateful Dead in 1991 and 1992 with Jerry at Soldier Field in Chicago, and those were the days. I'm sure people will chime in, and I welcome the comments. When did you see the Dead? However, we did go to Shakedown Street. It was interesting. I bought a hat, and my wife bought a couple T-shirts, etc. And then I managed to find about an hour. I think I spent an hour and a half. I did a quick scan of record shops in the greater Las Vegas area, called up an Uber, and went to Wax Trax Records. Now, you can look them up. You can find videos. I was specifically looking at a video from Dr. Robert. Shout out to Dr. Robert, who was there, within the last 6 months, and he has been there many times, according to what he had to say. Rich Rosen is the owner. He's kind of a legendary figure in the record collecting business. The shop is an experience. Let's just put it that way. A lot of people would probably be turned off if they went into the shop. Hey, I'm here for Dead and Company show here in Vegas at the Sphere tonight, and managed to squeeze in a few minutes at Wax Trax Records. Let's see what this turns out into. Let's see what we think. Things are in disarray. There are piles and piles and piles of records in a very cramped space that appears to be an old house. There is a downstairs, there is an upstairs, there is a main floor. When I was there, Rich was there behind the counter, of course, and he had kind of a right-hand man who looked up everything on Discogs. So there was also another employee kind of roaming the area, and you could actually hand records to that employee who would bring it down to the guy behind the computer, and they would start kind of working up a pricing strategy for you. This is where, a lot of people would probably switch off and head out the door. The saving grace here is that you can negotiate with Rich. You have to kind of maintain your ground. And the big draw here is there is an incredible assortment of rare records in this place that you don't see every day. I'm talking about going down to the jazz room, which was downstairs, and seeing 8 copies of this Herbie record. Okay, I ended up purchasing a 71 United Artists label, but this thing is in mint condition. The cover is not, but the record is. That's what I'm talking about. Just the sheer breadth of vinyl. I have another example that I'll show you. So, pretty common record, right? Billy Joel, The Stranger. What was this, 1978? 1977. Great record. Moving Out, Scenes from an Italian Restaurant. Get It Right the First Time. Love that song. Only the Good Die Young. The thing about this record is it was first mastered at Sterling Sound by Ted Jensen. You'll find Sterling and TJ in the Dead Wax. There is also a CBS Master Sounds pressing of this that I have. And before I go too deep on this, I want to do a shout out to Jason Rojas of the vinyl community. Check out Jason's channel. He actually does live stream DJ sets these days for the most part, but he'll be he appears on the random stream here or there. Really cool record collector, based out of Austin, Texas. I was DMing back and forth with Jason about this record because I overheard him talking about, what you really want to find is check out the CBS Master Sounds. A lot of people love that. But the master disc, mastered by Robert Ludwig, with master disc and RL and the Dead Wax, that's the pressing you want to find. And there are white label promos of the master disc. There are just nondescript copies pressed at different plants. I'm going to look this one up. I can't remember what plant it was. However, there's about 10 copies of this record at Wax Trax in Las Vegas, upstairs in the Rock Room. The first one I pulled out, lo and behold, it is a Master Disc RL. I have never seen this out in the wild. They're hard to come by. So that kind of gives you an idea of the inventory that exists at this place. I'm thinking about doing a future video. I might involve Jason in it, but I will just kind of suffice to say that I think the master disc of the RL is the best version of this record on vinyl that you can listen to. Well, when I walked in the door, I said hello to Rich. I had told him that I had, I'm a record collector. I do some stuff on YouTube, and told him that I had watched Dr. Robert's recent video. And of course, I know Dr. Robert. Is he here? He's like, no, I don't think he's here today. But he wanted to know, well, what are you looking for and how much time do you have? He really wanted me to spend a lot of time there, which I think would probably be very, very, very dangerous. I told him I was looking for an original UK pressing of London Calling. And lo and behold, they had one. The sleeve is not the cleanest, as you can see. But the records were in VG Plus to, let's say, near mint minus, as far as that is concerned. There is that kind of iconic white, the CBS label with the Made in England on the bottom there. One of my favorite Clash records, and I just kind of got to the point where I just want a UK pressing. I'm tired of buying reissues that are not really satisfying. And I know a lot of people will swear by the US pressings, particularly if you can get a white label promo. But, I thought it was very cool that, upon request, yeah, we've got that. Here it is. And they only had one. And just to let you know, as far as the negotiating situation, I think you do better there if you're going to be purchasing multiple records. You can kind of play one record off the other record. He started this conversation on this record at $175, and I told him, let's just kind of park that there and let me do some shopping. We'll come back and reconvene, and which is what we did. I ended up buying another Bobby Hutcherson record, which is fantastic, by the way, that had some water damage. Check out my recent Deep Focus Jazz episode if you want to learn more about that record. But the other record I picked up is a gorgeous Monarch near mint pressing of Young, Gifted, and Black, Aretha's 1972 masterpiece. This is incredible, and if you have never heard her cover of The Long and Winding Road, then you don't know what you're missing. But this is just a fantastic record and near mint condition. The only other record I looked at that I seriously considered picking up was the debut album from Lenny Kravitz, but I noticed that it was a club pressing. Looking at the very bottom back, it was I think it was a Columbia House or something, and I decided to pass on that. So after all was said and done, I settled on a price with Rich Rosen of $125 on this pressing, this original UK pressing of London Calling. And the other albums were not crazy expensive for the condition that they were in, the fact that, he probably thought that The Stranger was just a bog standard Sterling cut. I don't know how deep they went because it was very affordable. So in about an hour and a half, I walked out with 5 records that were kind of laser focused for me. These were records I was looking for, and I was really happy with the experience there. Now, backtracking again, your mileage may vary. If you are an individual that you want to walk into a well-kept, organized, and with not a lot of mystery involved, it can be off-putting. Let's put it that way. When you are flipping through records and there are no prices associated, it could be very off-putting. So it's an experience. You have to have a little bit of perseverance. You have to kind of hold your own against Mr. Rosen. And all I'm here to say is it is possible to have a good experience there. I don't think I would recommend this record shop to every collector out there. Everyone has different stages of where they are in their kind of collecting journey, and do they have kind of the patience and the gumption to not be afraid to negotiate. So that was my experience in Vegas. Maybe an hour and a half of record shopping. It turned out to be a great experience, as was the entire weekend. We stayed, funnily enough, it was the last weekend for the Mirage, legendary place on the Strip, which was conveniently located across the street from the Venetian where the Spear was. We did some good eating. We had a great time at the show, and Vegas was fun. It's been kind of a whirlwind summer, quite a bit of travel. Now kind of able to settle into August, a little more time for relaxation, reflection, listening. So that's where I am today. Just wanted to let everybody know that the Spear is amazing. If you are wanting to see a band there, highly recommended. I will say that the visuals are probably 50% of the experience along with the music, but the visuals are incredible, and you've seen the videos out there, I'm sure. So take it from me, take it from others. Fly into Vegas and do it. Prepare, hotels are not cheap these days in Vegas like they used to be. It was an expensive weekend. It could have been very more expensive if I would have had more time at Wax Trax. Take care, everybody.
When they come, drag you